Hey everyone, at the moment is 4 minutes after 3. I think a few people already have joined the webinar, so we can start. First of all, thank you very much for joining the Mesh Group and Open Learning webinar. For today's session, we've got Adam Primo, who is the founder and CEO of Open Learning. And we've got also Binod, who is Mesh Group LMS consultant, who is going to take you at the end of the presentation through the integration between Mesh Student Management System and Open Learning. Now, most of you in this webinar know Mesh Group. You're using our system. However, for those who don't know us, just to give you a little bit of an overview of the company, we have been on the market for over 17 years, and we provide student management system for all markets. And when we say all markets, we're talking about the VET market, CRICOS market, and the ELICOS market. Now, our solutions are all cloud-based, and we offer end-to-end student management systems capable of managing the entire student journey from enrollment to graduation. We also offer a number of add-on modules, such as, let's say, for example, student portal, agent portal, teacher portal, and more, and also various integrations. And of course, most importantly, seamless integration with our partner, Open Learning LMS. We also provide local support and ongoing system development and strong support team. We've got a very strong support team, locally based here. And we are regular participants of the VELT conference, TECA conference, and English Australia conference. Currently, we're holding over 25% of the CRICOS education market and over 30% of the higher education market. And we're growing monthly. Now, I think I'm going to hand over the presentation to Adam, who is going to take you through the Open Learning LMS. So enjoy. And after that, we will take you through the integration with Binod, and potentially, if we've got time, we can do a little bit of a Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jordan. And good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for your time today. So I'm Adam. I'm the CEO of OpenLearning, and OpenLearning is an AI-powered learning management system. To give you a little bit of background on OpenLearning, if you haven't come across us before, OpenLearning started in 2012 in Sydney, Australia, and we have a track record of over 10 years of innovation in the education technology sector. We work with over 250 education providers, and over 4 million learners have taken courses through our partners on the OpenLearning platform. We have pioneered a range of education innovations, from micro-credentials to outcome-based education, portfolios, and more recently, the launch of our embedded generative AI tools within the OpenLearning LMS. And I'm going to demonstrate those to you today. OpenLearning has partnered with many world-class institutions across all sectors, from university and higher education providers to RTOs and vocational institutions, corporates for upskilling and L&D, and government agencies and industry associations. We work with many of the top institutions in these categories across Australia, Southeast Asia, the US, and around the world. But we are based in Sydney, Australia, with offices across Southeast Asia. So OpenLearning is a next-generation learning management system. It provides an end-to-end solution for blended and lifelong learning, and this allows you to run all types of courses and qualifications online or face-to-face through the platform. This includes certificate, diploma, degree programs, as well as short courses, micro-credentials, and other types of courses that you might want to run as well. This allows you to ensure that all your courses are in the same place with a consistent delivery methodology. OpenLearning as an LMS also expands into the lifelong learning space. So with the OpenLearning learning management system, you also gain access to our global marketplace, where you can showcase your courses to potential learners around the world. So we have a marketplace on the platform with hundreds of thousands of visitors every month, where you can list your courses that are running on the OpenLearning platform. In addition to our LMS, which I'll demonstrate more to you shortly, we have our built-in portfolio system, which automatically produces a portfolio of learning for all your learners that can be used for recognition of prior learning, as well as for showcasing the skills the learner has developed to potential employers as well. On top of that, there is a built-in digital credentialing system inside OpenLearning that allows you to issue badges, certificates, and pathways as well. Now, the aim of OpenLearning is to deliver practical results for learners and institutions. At OpenLearning, we want the learning management system to be a profit center, not a cost center for your RTO. The way that works is you can use OpenLearning to generate new revenue by selling your courses online, taking payments for your courses in different currencies around the world. So if you're looking at expanding offshore or even into different sectors in Australia, then our platform can scale with you. The platform is also designed to reduce operating costs and scale your operations. So many of the tools and systems that you'll see in OpenLearning, actually, you'd have to pay extra for with other learning management systems. So OpenLearning combines at least 5 systems into one. So that way you can manage and deliver and facilitate and assess your courses right within the platform. We also have our built-in AI tools, including our AI course builder and facilitation tools that actually significantly reduce the cost of designing and delivering courses. OpenLearning as a platform is designed for social learning and project-based learning and outcome-based education, and this enables you to increase student engagement and build connections between learners. In addition to that, OpenLearning's built-in portfolio system allows you to improve graduate employability and outcomes by providing every learner with an automatically generated portfolio. And that portfolio stays with the learner throughout their entire life, even if you stop using OpenLearning to deliver your courses. This ensures your learners always have a record of what they learned, and they can showcase that to other institutions or to potential employers. The OpenLearning platform has a range of advanced features for designing, delivering, and managing online education and blended education experiences. This includes our AI course design and authoring tools, learning analytics, customization of branding, assessment, facilitation, and much more. Within the platform, we have a world-class online learning experience that you can customize for your learners. You can have your own branding and logo and style, and this allows you to also customize the navigation and look and feel of the course, the imagery that's used, as well as give students an indication of where they're up to through analytics tools and pages like our progress bar. From an administration perspective, OpenLearning makes it easy to rerun your courses using our cohort system. You can create a course once and run it multiple times by creating new classes. So let's say you've developed or set up your unit of competency within OpenLearning, and you're going to run that same unit every few months for the next 3 years. Rather than having 12 versions of the course, on OpenLearning, you'll actually just have 1 version, and then you create a new cohort every time you want to run that unit. The students in one cohort won't see students in another cohort. You can even have different assessors, different staff members, and different assessment criteria and methodology between them if you wanted to change that as well. But you'll have just one course. You can also duplicate the course like you would in any learning management system very easily, but this gives you lots of options for seamlessly managing your courses and cohorts right within the platform. Then we have our flexible course setup and authoring tools. So our authoring environment is designed to make it as easy as possible for you to set up and configure your content and assessments. It's all drag and drop. And if you can use Microsoft Word, then you can use this course authoring environment. So it's really straightforward. There's no IT skills to learn, and it also allows you to integrate external tools as well for different types of content, such as SCORM, H5P, Articulate, or anything else you want to add in. And to top it off, we have generative AI tools for course design and delivery. This includes a range of AI tools that are designed around educational best practices. And this includes our course builder, which allows you to generate an entire course using AI, activities and assessment generation, content generation, image generation, and AI tools for feedback and facilitation to learners as well. In addition to that, more and more students are now accessing their courses on their mobile device. Maybe they're taking their course while they're traveling to and from work or on public transport. They can now do that through their mobile devices, and we have native mobile apps for iPhone, iPad, and Android. So all your courses will be 100% mobile accessible. The platform is also designed to work with your favorite tools and integrates with a whole range of systems. Obviously, we have a very deep integration with meshed RTOManager. But on top of that, we also integrate with Microsoft Power Automate, Zoom, H5P, Microsoft Teams, and much more as well. So if you've got different tools you're using, you can probably connect those to OpenLearning very easily. We have a fantastic customer support team, and they're located in Australia, as well as we have team members in Malaysia, Philippines, and Indonesia. We have 7 days support, close to 24 hours a day. We also have live chat within the platform, so you can chat to our support team if you have any questions at any time, as well as extensive documentation. So our team is here to support you. And as part of our support engagement, we also provide onboarding support and workshops. So we make it really easy for your team to get started and provide all the necessary training. Now, without further ado, let me share a bit more about how the platform works and demonstrate that to you. So every institution that we work with at OpenLearning has what we call a portal. And the portal is like a landing page or a mini website that has all of your courses and programs that are running on the OpenLearning platform. This can either be public or private. So public, so you can attract people around the world, or private, just for your existing students. Now, this is an example of a portal. This is the Institute of Applied Technology from TAFE New South Wales, and this runs on the OpenLearning platform. So you can see it's fully white labeled. It has its own URL, it has logo, and it has its own style. And the Institute of Applied Technology from TAFE is a collaboration between TAFE New South Wales, Microsoft, and a few new universities. Now, they have two institutes, one for digital and the other for construction. So in the Digital Institute, they have a range of courses and programs that they are offering to learners in New South Wales and around the world. So each of these courses, you can see, has some information about it. Some of these are subsidized for students within New South Wales. And if you click on one, you'll see a landing page that has more information about the course. So here you can see that this course is available. It's about 48 hours of learning, 6 to 8 weeks long. So this is a landing page for that course. Now, we also allow you to customize these portals. Here is another example. This is Western Sydney University, and they have a range of courses that they're offering as well to the public across a range of categories from construction, education, healthcare, and more. Then they have a range of popular courses that they're offering to the public that anyone around the world is able to enroll in, including their existing students. And then they have what they call micro-credential stacks, which are collections of courses that lead towards credit. So you can do 4 courses and get credit towards the MBA program or a Master's in Marketing. So this is examples of portals. Now, once you get inside the portal, we'll go into a course here. This is a unit of competency that's part of a Cert 4 in Leadership and Management. And this is a course I'm making a presentation. So when you first come into this course, you can see a progress bar at the top that shows you where you're up to as a learner. Then on the left-hand side, you have navigation. So we have all of the learning activities and course content here. So if I click on that, I can see all of the weeks in this course, all the topics. Inside each topic, there are pages with content and activities. So all of the content that would normally be in, say, a workbook or a learner guide, you can put straight into the platform and make it really nice and accessible for students. So if I close that, then I'm on the home page at the moment. And on the home page, there's some information about this unit of competency. And then there's an welcome activity where students will introduce themselves, share a bit about why they're taking the course, and tell everyone else about a great presentation that they've seen. So they can do this activity right on the home page, and you can see learners are just communicating here, sharing the reasons why they're taking the course, and some great presentations that they've seen over the years as well. Some people share videos, all of that. So this feels a bit more like social media to the learner. It's very user-friendly. You can see this person has shared a video of Martin Luther King Jr. So as a facilitator, or as another student, I can see who's liked the comments. I can reply. So if I click reply, as a facilitator, I have this button here called suggest a comment. And I can type in a response directly to the learner, or I can use this suggestion option, and AI will generate a response for that learner's comment. And I have a range of templates I can choose from, like depending on how I want to respond to the student. I can ask some questions, I can promote peer teaching, I can refocus the conversation. So I've got a lot of options here. I'm just going to pick the first one and ask some more questions to this learner. So I just click generate, and then the AI will take into account the student's comments and the context that it was posted, so all the information on the page, and then generate a response. It says, hello, welcome to the course. It's inspiring to hear how Martin Luther King's I Have Dreams speech has touched you. As a graphic designer, how do you think the principles of powerful presentations can enhance your design work? So it's relevant to this learner and their background as well. So if you're happy with that, you can post it, or you can make any changes that you want as well. So that's a little example of how you can use AI when replying to students. Now, if I go back to the navigation, I have the learning activities, I have information for students at TAFE, I have some information on the major tasks. So there's 2 major tasks in this course that students will have to complete. And there's some announcements. I can search through the course as well, and they have some pathway for certification. So if I click on the learning activities, maybe I'll just click on the first activity here. And this is just part of the coursework. So I think this activity is not one of the major tasks. It's just some coursework that the students will undertake. So you can see there's some content here, why presentations, and then some text, and then what makes a great speech great. So it's talking about the history of great speeches, and maybe some great speeches people have seen in their lifetime. So then there's an activity for students to do. It says, watch the speeches presentations below and ask yourself the following. What is the objective of the speaker? What are they trying to change in the audience? And there's a few speeches here. Steve Jobs, JFK, and Martin Luther King. And then there's a little box here. And this is where the students can do a little activity, and it asks them, what do they think of these speeches? And this is a little template that's here. And you can see it's got 3 questions that the students will answer. So once you answer these questions, you can put whatever you want in there. The student will click next, and then they can submit this, the response to these questions. Now, after the student does that, they can then see a list of all of the other students' work right within the page here. This is what we call a gallery. And this gallery is optional. So depending on the type of activity or assignment you have, you may or may not want a gallery. So maybe you don't want a gallery if it's an assignment that's just going to be submitted to the assessor. But if it's a community-based activity or project-based learning, maybe you want to have a gallery where other people can see what's going on. So you can look at the gallery, and you can click on some of these responses, and you can see what students think about those different speeches, and you can scroll through them. And for each of these, students are able to respond in this case, but as a facilitator, I can also respond. And I can then use the AI tool to generate some feedback. And we have a different set of responses here. Strengthen suggestions, spotlight great work, connect feedback to learning goals. Maybe I'll try that one. So here we have some feedback that's been generated by the AI. It's addressing the student. Thank you for your reflections. To build on your observations, consider exploring how these speakers use specific rhetorical devices and storytelling techniques to enhance their message. So it's asking the student some more follow-up questions to get them thinking. So you can see with this AI tool, it makes it possible to provide, really high quality contextual feedback, personalized feedback to all the learners in the course. And this is something that your facilitators will be able to do without spending very little time, in the course community, or even reading through the students' work. So it's a really efficient way to provide better and higher quality feedback to learners and to help improve their performance. Now, I'm just going to go through a couple more pages here. But you can see at the bottom of this page, there's also a comment area, and students are able to share other things there too. So if I scroll back to the top, let's say in this page, we want to make some changes. Now, as an administrator, I have access to the edit button at the top here. So if I click edit, I then see an edit mode. And in the edit mode, I can actually change the content of these little sections. So this is the text widget here. And in here, I can just edit this text. I can upload new images, put whatever I want in. So it's very easy to edit. You've got all the formatting options and all of that. Now, on top of that, if you want to add more content to this page, you can use the widget toolbox on the left-hand side here. So here you can drag and drop new content in, such as text, videos, images, assignments. You can also create quizzes and all of that within here as well. So it's a very easy way of setting things up, editing the content, even putting in videos and putting in activities and assignments for the learner. Now, let's go to one of the major tasks in this course. So if we scroll through some of this content here, this is all the supporting material. Then let's go down to the major task 1. So major task 1, you can see this is where students will submit their major task 1. And in the major task, they have to submit a presentation plan of all the work that they've done to prepare for their presentation. So they do that just by uploading a PDF of their presentation plan. And once they've done that, you can then view everyone else's presentation plans as well. So we can see this is Oscar's presentation plan that's been created, and we can browse through it. So in this case, this information is shared publicly in the course, but it doesn't have to be. And then the second aspect is sharing a video recording of your presentation, which students will be able to upload the video file there as well. Now, as an assessor, when I want to assess the students, I'll click on the Assessment tab, and then I'll go to Report Design. And in the Report Design area is where we would set up the assessment reports. So here we have the performance criteria for this unit of competency for each of the major tasks. And so we have major task 1, prepare a presentation. Then we have all of the marking criteria, deliver a presentation, all the criteria, etc. So if I edit this, I can set up all of the evaluation criteria, all of the weightings, instructions for the assessor when they come in to assess, and the type of assessment. So in this case, it's satisfactory and not yet satisfactory. And then, all the evidence of learning that I want to look at for this particular outcome. So once I've set up my report, I can then assess the learners. And I'm just going to jump to one of the learners here. And you can see for this learner in the gradebook, we have major task 1, major task 2, and then a portfolio summary of all of the things the student has done in the course. So if I click on the first one, I can see a report for major task 1 with the performance criteria and the marking criteria. And if I click on one of them, I can see the marking instructions. I can see the mark I can give it, satisfactory or not yet satisfactory. And then I can view all of the students' work aligned to this criteria. So in this case, they've submitted a video of their presentation that you can watch. And they've also submitted their major task 1 project plan template that you can review, and some other information as well. So after you've assessed all of the work, you can make adjustments to the marks, and you can give feedback to the learner as well throughout the process. So that's sort of how you view the content, how you'd edit the content, and how you would view the assessment and assess the learners within there. Now, I'm just going to jump to one more area, which is the content editor. And the content editor is where you would structure and upload your course material as well. So this is where we set up all of our topics or modules in the course. So week 1, week 2, and inside here we have these pages. And each page contains the content and activities that we were looking at before. So here is where you would go to add additional pages or just see the whole structure of the course as a whole. Now, this is a complete course, but what I'm going to do now is show you what it's like to create a new course from scratch and upload some of your materials. So I'm going to leave this area now, and I'm going to go to the institution administration area. And this is the administration area on OpenLearning where you would manage all of your courses and units of competency, qualifications, your staff, your learners, extract data, and all of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a brand new course. And I'm going to use a course here that I was just looking at on training.gov. This is a unit of competency. And I'm just going to take, this unit of competency here. And I think we can probably use, this one. So follow safe work practices for direct client care. And this is HLTWHS002. So I'm just going to create this course in the platform. And this is just going to give me a brand new empty course that I can use. So if I just click on this new course that's being created, what we end up with is just an empty course here. So you can see it's got the default navigation. There's a setup wizard, which gives you a step-by-step process for how to get your course set up and ready to go. So you can do all of that if you want. But I'm going to jump to this page called the Course Builder. And the Course Builder is a top-down course design and structuring tool that makes it easy for you to set up and create new courses. And this is allows you to use your existing content, or you can use AI to generate the content as well. So for example, we start with the course objective. So if I click Suggest Course Objective, we have the topic of the course, we have the audience, and I could say the audiences could be working professionals in Australia. We can put the duration of the course, it could be as long or as short as we want, 5 hours a week for 8 weeks. We can specify the language, and we can specify the tone, so the style we want the course to be written in. So I'm going to choose maybe informative and professional. I think that would be good for this course. And then we can give it additional information we want it to cover. Now, you don't have to enter anything in, but I'm going to base this on this unit of competency. So I'm just going to take the information from training.gov. So I'm just going to copy this information in here, and I'll paste it in. And that will give me the start generating the course objective. Okay, so here we have our course objective. And in this course objective, you can see it's taken into account the information we provided. So the goal of the course is to equip working professionals in Australia with the essential skills and knowledge required to adhere to safe work practices. So that sounds pretty good. So I'm going to keep that. So I'll save my objective. I can always edit it as well if I want to. Now, for the learning outcomes, we can actually generate the learning outcomes using AI, or we can take them from training.gov as well. Now, what we might do is because this unit has quite a few, we can put a couple in and then see how we go. Then we can generate some. So all we do is click Add Learning Outcome. We can copy in the elements from training.gov, and we can type in a couple here. So follow the work practices. So this is the manual way. You can also have the AI generate outcomes in a particular learning taxonomy. So we have, for example, Bloom's taxonomy, project-based learning, soft skills, social emotional. So what you could do is if you wanted to generate your own outcomes, maybe you're developing a new course or the course might be outside of a training package, you could click on one of these. You could enter additional information. You could even, copy and paste from, training.gov to cover things as well. And you can click generate. And this will then generate some learning outcomes following that particular taxonomy and insert them into the course. So you have a couple options. You can either, put them in yourself if you already have them, such as the performance criteria, or you can use the AI to do it. So if you use the AI, you can see it will actually come up with, high-level learning outcomes aligned to what we entered. So, manual handling, identify and report handling hazards, apply control measures, minimize risk. So it generates quite a few. We did give it quite a bit. So I'm probably not going to use those. I think I'm going to stick with a few of these standard ones here that have come from training.gov. So I'll just put one more in, and then we'll move on to the next step. I think there's actually 5 in this package, but we'll do 3 for now. Then we move on to the course structure. So in the course structure, we would then set up the modules. And here you can choose from a range of frameworks, such as competency-based, curriculum, subject-centric, and thematic. So these are, some of the different frameworks that you can use. Now I'm going to click on competency-based, and I'll just enter some of the information from training.gov. So all of the, knowledge evidence and performance evidence, we'll just put that in, and then use that as a basis for generating the content. So if you already have your own content, you can very easily upload that directly into the platform. You don't have to use AI at all. But if, let's say, you want to contextualize some content or you want to add additional supplementary materials, the AI is very good at doing that. Similarly, if you're developing a new unit content for a new unit of competency and you haven't purchased the content from elsewhere, you could actually use AI to generate that content and save money on that process. So here's a list of modules for the course: Introduction to Work Health and Safety. It has the topics, and then it also maps it to those learning outcomes and performance criteria. Hazard identification and risk assessment, infection control practices, manual handling and musculoskeletal health. So it's got the learning time as well. So it's following the amount of learning time that we requested when we generate this content. So I'm going to keep that. So we've got a list of modules here. Now, all we do is for each of these modules, we just click Generate Module Content. We can review the module plan, and then we can generate the content using one of these frameworks. So I'm just going to click on project-based learning. I think that might be interesting. This one. And then I'll generate some pages that will go into this module. So what we're doing here is behind the scenes using GPT-4o on Microsoft Azure. So all of the data you enter doesn't go into the training set for the large language model. So everything stays private. So there's no risk of the content that you produce or that you upload being shared with any of the AI providers. All of that stays private within the platform. And the way this works is that we've developed our own prompt library. So you don't have to enter any AI prompts yourself. You don't need any technical skills to use this. you can just enter what you want from an educational and training perspective, and then that will be taken into account by the AI assistant in OpenLearning, and it'll then generate all the content and everything else for your modules and your pages. So it makes the process really easy and straightforward without having to go to sort of a separate AI tool. This one is designed specifically for educational purposes. Okay, so here's a list of content that will go into our module. Understanding hazards, risk assessment, identifying hazards in your workplace, conducting a risk assessment. And you can see it also generates the learning activities and assessments as well as part of this process. So I'm going to add these into my module, and then maybe we'll just generate one of them. So we'll generate the identifying hazards in your workplace. You can see it's come up with an image, which looks like it has a lot of hazards in there. So we can then generate this page content right within the platform. So what we've seen is that these AI tools are now saving people about 50 to 80% of the time when they're building and developing their course materials and content. So if you previously spent, say 3 weeks or 4 weeks putting together your course content, now you'll be able to do that in, less than a week, most likely. So the AI will do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. You still have to review it. You still have to check it over, make the necessary changes, but you don't have to write everything from scratch. At the same time, if you already have, say, SCORM modules or videos with content, you can just put those on a page and then generate additional case studies or learning activities to help contextualize that content for your learners as well. You can see it's also inserted the learning outcome at the top of the page, follow safe work practices. Okay, and it looks like it's generated some content for us here. So welcome to the section of the course. Hazard identification and direct client care. So you're a care worker in aged care facility during your shift, so it's got a scenario there. Step 1, identify the hazard, assess the risk, document the hazard, control measures. Then it has a little activity for students to do, different settings, hazard identification exercise. You can see it's put some a work solution in here as well for this scenario. So you can use that as the assessor or trainer, and you can remove that for the students, or you can leave that for students to do. It's also inserted an activity, hazard identification exercise, where students identify a hazard and share their findings. And then there's a gallery where students can then provide feedback to each other on the hazards they've identified and explain how they pose a risk. So here we have a pretty simple page. It's got some content, it's got an activity for the students to do, and it's all there. So once that's generated, you can just click edit, and you can edit all of these sections the way you would any other piece of content. At the same time, if you want to add additional content, you can use these little AI tools at the bottom and generate case studies, techniques, glossaries, how-to guides, and anything else you want as well. So I might stop there in the interest of time and hand it over to Mesh, and they can share a bit more about the integration, and then feel free to ask any questions in the Q&A section in Zoom as well, and we'll get to those at the end.
All right. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining today's session, and hopefully the session has been helpful to understand the OpenLearning platform. My name is Binod, so I'll take a few minutes today to discuss about the MIST and RTOManager and OpenLearning integration. So yeah, I'm sharing my screen now where I'll show you a few of the slides and then discuss about the integration. I want to give you an overview of what the integration is capable of. So the main highlights of the integration is that this integration offers single sign-on for the students. So OpenLearning has a built-in single sign-on tool, which we just call to whenever the student log into MIST student portal, they can easily go to OpenLearning platform without any additional steps to do or verifications to do. So that's there. You can manage the access and permission for the users who wants to use the integration. So you can specify rules or the users to do that. So there's a data transparency in this integration. So whatever data is being synchronized, you can see it in Mesh platform as well. So it's just a click of a button, what you want to see, and then it will show you what information resides in OpenLearning as well. So there's a data transparency you can refer to at any time. So there are a few of the integration rules that you can configure at any point of time. For example, do you want to use a single sign-on? Do you want to use the learner's account based on the college email and private email, and some of the usual questions that we get from our clients for the LMS integration. So there's a bulk feature to synchronize the data, so you can send or receive the data individually or in bulk as well, all in under the same page. So that's a bit easier process than any other conventional integrations. And there's an automation as well, so which will handle some of the cases where updates happen in one system and the updates should automatically go to the other system. So I can come back to that and later as well. So overview of this integration is you can send the subjects or units from RTOManager system as a course or micro-credentials to OpenLearning, as Adam showed you today. So we send the subjects or units to OpenLearning as a course, and then it will be under the institution admin view. From there onwards, you can use the AI tools and your process to design the course and do the setup there. So from the integration, we just create the cell of the course in OpenLearning. So once the timetable is or classes is created in RTOManager, you can send them as groups to OpenLearning so that the enrollments under a particular class will only go to those classes in OpenLearning as well. So it's just to make sure the enrollments sit under the right class, and then you can do the assessment and so on under the right class as well. So you can also send the students as learners to OpenLearning. So if a student or learner already exists in OpenLearning, let's say from a previous provider or from your provider, your platform itself, then you can retrieve the existing user, retrieve the existing learner and map with the current student. Or if it doesn't exist, then you can create a brand new learner in OpenLearning as well. So after that, whenever the students are enrolled into the subject or the units, these can be sent to OpenLearning on the course enrollment. So whatever subjects or units they are enrolled into, you can map them into OpenLearning as well. And the last piece is importing back the results. So whenever the results are provided in OpenLearning, the reports are graded, then the results will come back to RTOManager system. You can use a few clicks of a button, select the records, and just import the results straight away. Any updates or deletion, as I mentioned, that is handled through integration. So that's pretty straightforward. So regarding the configuration and rules, as I mentioned, single sign-on, you can specify if you want the students or learners to use a single sign-in through Student RTOManager portal. Create the learner account email preference, so you can specify if it's the personal email or college email and so on. So do you want to send a welcome email whenever the account is created in OpenLearning? You can specify that. If you deliver multiple course type or the subject type, for example, higher ed subjects or ELICOS subjects or VET subjects, you can specify what type of subject you want to include in the integration. And these are configurable at any point of time. You just have to request us. We can change it at any point of time for you. After that, it's the access and permission. So like by default, the super admin user of the system can see the integration rules. They can see the integration page. They can access basically all the modules in the integration. Whereas you can specify there's a permission called access OpenLearning module. So if this permission is assigned to a particular user, they can also start using the integration. So let's say if you want to provide this rule or permission to your academics team, then you can do so as well, or a particular user under the academics role, then you can do so as well. So you can see there's an integration menu. This will be available in your RTOManager platform under the home page. So under the menu, there are the sequence of items to do. So first is about subject, then classes, then learners, enrollments, and finally the results. So under the subjects tab, you can see based on the course and the grading type. So you may have competency grading, you may have a marks grading, and so on. So based on the course and the grading type, you can list out the subjects under that particular course, and then you can click them all at once or send them individually. So you can do individual or bulk courses, as I mentioned. So these will be created in OpenLearning as a course, and this will by default go as an offline course. And as Adam mentioned in the previous slides in his demo, so you can do the course structure and course setup in OpenLearning separately after that. So subjects creation in OpenLearning, or the course creation in OpenLearning, can happen through MIST automatically. After that, whenever the timetable is created in MIST platform, RTOManager system, so you can simply go to the second section, which is the classes, select by the subject. You can do all subject, or so the subject will be listed only if the subject has been previously sent to OpenLearning. So those subjects you can select, and select the class as well, select the semester, and then you can send the classes to OpenLearning in bulk or individually as well. The next piece is about the students. So there are two options to create the student account in OpenLearning. One is, as I said, new user or new learner, or the other one is retrieve the existing learner. So both of them, both of those actions can happen from the same page. So the system will let you know if it's an OpenLearning user already. If it is, then you can retrieve using the same button, or if it's not, then you can create a learner account. That also can happen in bulk or individually. So you just have to list out the students based on the courses and their status. Or you can also specify the course start date, from date, and to date, and you can list out the students and create their account in OpenLearning. So whenever the students log into the RTOManager platform student portal, currently this is logged in as a student, so they will see an OpenLearning tile. Simply clicking on this tile will take them to the OpenLearning platform itself. So this is the student portal view. So the single sign-on works this way. The next thing is about the enrollments. Whenever the students are enrolled into a particular subject and under the class, obviously if they are enrolled into no batch, then these are not currently sent to OpenLearning, because the first primary information to send the enrollments is the class. So students, whenever they are enrolled into a class, which is the batch enrollment happens in MES system, so these can be listed out based on the course and sent to OpenLearning as in bulk or individually as well. So you can also skip the creating learners on the previous stage and then do it from here itself. But this creating the learner from this page, it is given so that if anything is missed while sending the learners, you can do it from here. But either way, create it from here or there, it's the same process. So you can send the enrollments to OpenLearning as well. So after that, for importing back the results, so as Adam mentioned, you have to design the course in such a way that there's a learning outcome, and then you have to do the course design. You have to set up the modules and the assignments and so on. And then lastly, you have to create the report. So whenever the report is created in the system, and then you assess the students into those assessment criteria or the assessments, then you need to release the marks. So whenever the marks is released, all the marks are released, then the result, the final result, which is the total score, comes back to RTOManager system. So ideally 100 is satisfactory or competent, and anything less than 100 is not yet competent. That's how the system identifies the result, because in competency based result system, it can be either competent or not yet competent. After that, so in the last tile here called results, you can see two button here. One is to import the result from OpenLearning. The other one is to update in the MES system. So whenever you import it from OpenLearning, it will bring back the result and then provide you the competency. But the result will stay under this page only. And then whenever you hit this button called update, you can do individually from here as well. So whenever you do the update, then the actual students results will be updated in RTOManager as well. So this is the end of the process of the student result import, and that's how the complete cycle of the students journey in this particular subject or the unit is completed. So last piece of this integration is about the automation. So there are like a lot of frequent cases when the classes are updated in RTOManager system. So for example, the class start date is changed or finish date is changed. In some cases, the census date, if it's applicable, the census dates are changed and so on. So all those changes will also go to OpenLearning automatically, so you don't have to do anything about that. Um, deletions as well. If you delete any class which has already been sent to OpenLearning, then that is also deleted in OpenLearning as well. But the system in RTOManager system, it restricts class deletion if there is any enrollment. That still stays. So if there is no any enrollment under that class, then system will allow you to delete the class. The same class is also deleted in OpenLearning as well. Regarding the enrollment update, so let's say the student is enrolled into batch 1 and then you change it to batch 2. So if batch 1 and batch 2 both are already synced with OpenLearning, the students will be switched from the batch 1 to batch 2 in OpenLearning as well. Similarly, if any enrollment is deleted in RTOManager system, the deletion happens in OpenLearning as well, provided that the result or attendance or any other associated data is not recorded in RTOManager already. So regarding result update as well, so whenever the result is imported in RTOManager system, and let's say if you change the result in OpenLearning, then that comes back to my system instantly. That works with the webhook, so it is updated in RTOManager itself. So pretty much the integration covers all the student journey starting from their subject enrollment until the results import. And so there are other few areas that we might need to explore later on, but at this stage the integration can support the data synchronization between RTOManager and OpenLearning. So that's pretty much it from the integration. So obviously, if you're interested in having a demo, a detailed one, or you have any questions, you can get back to us at any point of time. So that's all from my side. And yeah, thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Adam. Thank you, Binod. As Binod mentioned, if you want to explore further OpenLearning LMS, the integration, please feel free to contact us. You can contact either Adam or myself through the sales line or the support line through Mesh. So I think we can conclude the session now, Adam.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time today. I've been answering a few questions that have come through in the Q&A. But if anyone has any further questions, feel free to post them or send us an email.
Thanks, Adam. Thank you all. Bye.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.